So today we're going to be giving you an advanced beginner guide of Capybara Go. And this is not going to be a replacement for the beginner guide that I made about 3 weeks ago. If you haven't seen that yet, definitely go over, check it out. I'll have it down in the description, probably sitting somewhere right at the top. But this video here is going to be more of the players that haven't made it past that 14-day mark inside the game. There were tips inside that beginner guide that was made to help you complete this 7-day carnival event, and once we get past there, which it does last 14 days, we need to start tweaking things and making things a little bit better so you have an easy way to complete stuff. Also, we've gotten some new stuff inside the game, so that's another reason that we want to go and let you know how you should be controlling this. So one of the big things we have now is the Gear Up chest, and this got added onto the limited time chest where we go and pull S-grade equipment from, but now if you go and pull 180 pieces of gear out of it, you'll now have the option to go and select one of these 6 items. Before this, you were opening 60 chests and you had a guaranteed S-grade, which was going to be 1 out of the 19. Now those 6 items that you see up top, you'll only be able to find those S-grade items when making your 60 pulls. And once you reach that 180, you can go and select one of those 6 as an extra one on top of the 3 that you've already grabbed. Now number 1, this chest will carry over, so if you don't like the gear that you're seeing there, you can go and wait till you see something else pop up a couple of days later and select one of those. And the fact that these 6 items are going to be the gear that we can get out of the chest, this makes it incredibly easy, or at least easier than it was before, to go and try to hunt down the gear that we want. Now, as far as the gear you should pick, any S-grade piece of equipment is really going to be good for you. For the weapons themselves, I see a lot of people go for the hammers. I myself would like to go for the Whisper, which is going to be one of the bows, but right now the game gave me a whole bunch of these star staffs, so that's what I'm currently using. There's no one best one for the weapon, it's more of what you get, decide to build your things around that. If it's a combo weapon, go after combo. If it's a skill weapon, try to go after skills. As far as the armor, both of them, the Dragon Breath and the Revival Cape, are both incredibly good ones to use. I have them both, and it's something that I constantly switch between the 2 of them. You'll find most players use that Dragon Breath when going and pushing chapters because there's a lot of rounds and you get that continuous healing. The Revival Cloak, on the other hand, is still good for pushing chapters, but more people will switch over to it when doing things like the tower or even a lot of the raid scenarios. For S-grade rings, I really like the Judgment Ring and the Skyflame one. However though, the game just wants to curse me with giving me these Shadow Rings, and you'll find that using the higher rarity is probably going to get you a little bit further. And then for the S-grade accessories, the Reckoning Badge is an absolute beast inside the game. Just know, there are some modes where it seems to be bugged, like the tower for example. You won't get those additional stats once you get below that 50%. Now for players that haven't grabbed any S-grade equipment yet, the Nomad Bow is a great one to go after. The Nomad Staff is too, however though the Mythic stat was bugged on it for a while, so you might want to go more towards the direction of the bow. For armor, the Tunic is probably the best one on that, and then rings, Guardian Rings are just a great way to go with having those daggers. For accessories, you'll find a lot of people go with one of the Icy Bubbles and then the R1 being the Frostwind Horn. These are both going to work great together on it, and it's an easy way to get these things leveled up and really just start wrecking the enemies. Now before you just start going and dumping all of your gems inside the game, inside this chest, there's a couple of other good spots that you probably should be spending your gems on first. The first one is going to be spent inside the guild hall, and this doesn't take a lot of gems at all. Main reason we're doing this is to get more guild coins, and if you're not part of a guild, number 1, make sure you get in it, and then number 2, if the guild doesn't seem like they're active at all, definitely switch over to another one. The main reason we want to go and donate to the guild is for those coins so we can go and purchase these Book of Bones. This is something you want to put all your coins into on it. Once you finally go and get to that point where you can use these, which will be a long way, you got to pretty much max out your whole talent tab on it. This will definitely help you out and get you a good head start. The other place you're going to want to be spending your gems is inside the dungeon dive. And pretty much you're going to be buying the 2 extra tries each day, because going in the dungeon dive and every 10 levels you beat, you're going to be getting these lucky silver coins which can be used on the Cappy Gotcha machine, which used to be called the Cappy machine. This is going to be the spot where we can get immortal pets, advanced artifacts, and advanced mounts inside the game. And you'll find that as you go and get past your 14 days, you're going to want to start saving these coins up until you get 500 of them, so you can guarantee that you're going to be getting that big prize. Now the advanced mount and advanced artifact are going to be the priorities on this, but if you do find yourself cashing in on a whole bunch of these, it might not be a bad idea to try to go and grab one of these pets. And depending on your gear inside the game and what you're building around, you can then decide which one you're going to select. Another good spot to spend gems on is going to be buying extra energy. And most people usually just go and purchase 2 of them, but this is going to allow you to travel inside the game and then use the currency you get out of that to upgrade your talents. You'll find as you get stuck on the tower or even in chapters that upgrading your talents is a quick, easy way to kind of help you get a little bit stronger and then go back in and defeat them. Now, the last place to spend the gems, which a lot of people will save up a good amount of them for, is going to be the Black Market Growth event. And you'll find that most people will save the gems up in order to get extra horseshoes inside the game. I myself do like to go and grab the S-grade keys out of it because you can get them at a slightly lesser cost. When collecting things inside the game like hammers, horseshoes, pet eggs, even the chests, which are different from the keys we use to open the chest, you want to hang on to every single one of these except for the hammers. Now, as far as those hammers, there's no event based around them right now, so really just kind of just pump them in, get them to the next star level to help yourself get a little bit stronger. But all those other currencies, you really want to hang on to them for the events, and you want to make sure you can do as best as you can to complete as many missions as you can in those events, because you can get things like Dark Moon tickets that can be used to unlock other mounts inside the game, and there's a series of other prizes you're going to be getting to based by how you're ranking. The pet eggs, for example, you still want to make sure you're going into that one and going and doing your 3 free ads every single day, but you really just want to let these things save up until the event pops up so you can get a lead on your opponents. And that goes the same thing with these spirit stones too. There's an event for those, and the Everstones that you can use to lock your build inside the game, don't even worry about using those yet. As you go and use these spirit stones, you'll get the extra level, which will unlock more slots and give you better rarities of getting your skills. I wasted a whole bunch of these Everstones when I first started because I said, oh, I really like this global skill inside the game, so I'm going to keep that, re-roll, and I found out real fast that these things only work for 1 roll. And where I did tell you in the beginner guide to go and try to go after things like global attack, you'll find as you get further inside the game, you want to focus more on reduction. So basic attack reduction is going to be a huge one. This will be whenever they go and make just a regular attack on you, it'll reduce it. Seems pretty straightforward, but I like to go for those ones and skill damage reduction. I wouldn't worry so much about the pet damage reduction or the counter damage reduction or even really the crit one. For me, it seems like the skill and the basic are the main ones to focus on. But you probably won't have to worry too much about these things until you get past chapter 40 or so. That's where these things really kind of start taking effect and you realize, man, these guys are hitting me hard. When going into battle, you're going to want to try to build your skills around the gear that you're using inside the game. So given that my star staff is going to give an increase to skill damage and also increase to burn, I'm going to probably want to try to get things that are going to complement those. And that means I'm also going to probably want to try to stay away from things that will reduce my skill damage. But no matter what, things like grabbing a revive or a war veteran, or even the one that's going to increase your damage every single round, those are huge skills to get inside the game. I am one to try to go and grab heals and shields when I first start off, but if I see something that says stackable to the end of battle, I'm probably going to jump on that. And Icy Touch is going to be another one that's a great skill to have. You'll just pretty much insta-kill enemies, which could be a huge help. And then Dodge is another one I like to go for too, because it could be the matter of saving you on that last final hit. You'll find that pets are a great way for doing damage, and Little Ellie, even though it's a lower rarity, this is something you want to equip for the heal purposes. Just make sure when you equip your pets in their battle slot, you're putting Little Ellie in the first one. That way, if you have an enemy that's going to die within 1 hit, you'll get Little Ellie pop out, do the heal, and you'll go into the next round with a lot more health. I know I'm bouncing around on stuff, but I did say hang on to all your chests. The purple one, which is going to be the gem chest, doesn't give you any points towards the event, so if you do get those, you can open them. I really recommend that you watch every single ad inside the game, or do yourself a favor and buy that ad removal, which is a one-time purchase. It definitely helps out. It makes life so much easier if you're willing to spend. When it comes time and you do have the event that pops up and you want to go and spend those currencies, make sure you have enough to complete all the missions inside that round. The next round that pops up after that isn't going to be anything special. It's going to be an exact same copy as the one before, but you want to make sure that you can get all the way through it to complete it to get that main prize. Also, be careful depending on your region, as players will wait till that last hour, go and pump a whole bunch of resources in, and knock you down from whatever your place you are so they can go and try to steal that first place. But as annoying as it is to hang on to all these things, knowing that you're stuck in a certain spot inside the game, and you could advance if you went and use them, it really does make sense because these events really kind of dictate how fast you're going to be progressing. And before I forget, the Goblin Miner, where you have to go and find these capybara statues, they're different from everybody. There's not like a cheat sheet to say it's here on this floor. And that goes the same thing with the actual picking of the treasure chests inside the game, where you have to match 3 matching chests or bags. They're different every single time. So there's no like, hey, this is the shortcut or the secret to give you the best rewards. But that's all I can think of right now, so maybe down the road we'll make an expert advanced guide, who knows. But if you guys want some more knowledge on the game, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.